So you want to find a mentor that can help you get filthy stinking rich, can help you grow in business, grow in your personal life, help accelerate everything for you. That's why you're here watching this video. Now, I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. Right before this video started, I decided to shave because I wanted to look pretty for you guys and cut my face. I got a little bit of a cut right there. So before you guys make fun of me in the comments, Nick, you have a cut on your face, you're a fucking idiot. That's why. And I'm here bringing value to you guys because I want to help you in your business and your career and all that type of stuff. So be grateful that I didn't decide to take the day off because I cut my face, right? I decided, you know what? No, the people need to hear this. They need to know how to find a mentor. That's what we're going to talk about today. So how do you go about finding a mentor? Well, before we get into like the specific 1, 2, 3 step-by-step thing, why do you even need a mentor? Well, there's this great saying by Isaac Newton, and it was that if I were to have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulder of giants. And that's what a mentor helps you do. They help you see further. And not only that, they also help you not make the same mistakes that they did. Okay, so if you think about it, if we were to go from where you're at to where you want to be, the mistakes that happen along the way are just friction points, and they're things that slow down the progress. Had someone told you, hey, this mistake is right here, you would have saved so much money, you would have not wasted a bunch of time, and you would have just gotten to your end goal a lot faster. Okay, so seeing further, rapidly seeing results, it takes away the friction that comes with everything. And then last but not least, confidence. Okay. If I were to tell you to make a plan for growing $1 billion company and you had never done that before, and then I told you to follow that plan, how confident are you in the plan? Not confident at all, right? Now, if a mentor who had built multiple $1 billion companies did the exact same thing and said, you know what, I'll help you with it, right? Here's the plan. Here's what you need to do, right? You're going to be a lot more confident in that strategy than your strategy. Now, at this point, I think it's important to distinguish the difference between a coach and a mentor. Okay, a coach is not a mentor. They're not the same. And anyone who tells you, you need to join my mentorship program or I can mentor you online, run far away from those people, okay? Because a mentor chooses you. You don't have to pay anything to a mentor. Usually it's going to be free, and it's because they chose you. Very different from a coach. A coach is someone that you pay, and I have no problem with coaches or consultants or anything like that. All I'm saying is that if they don't have the understanding of what the difference is between a mentor and a coach, it's probably because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're maybe not worth listening to. That's my thoughts. I've spent a shit ton of money on coaches. I've spent over $400,000 of my own money on my own education. And I can tell you without a doubt that some of them were well worth it and were a great investment. And I got a lot of value from it. I mean, I personally do coaching. There are some great coaches out there, but it's not the same as a mentor, okay? A mentor almost treats you kind of like their child, not like they baby you, but that they, just as much as they want to see their kids succeed, they want to see you succeed. They're invested in your success. It's kind of like this. It's like the difference between a girlfriend and a hooker, right? So like a girlfriend loves you for you, and then the hooker, the love is like kind of rented, okay? So again, there's nothing wrong with coaches. There's nothing wrong with coaching. I highly recommend people spend money on coaching because it helps accelerate your results as well. But a mentor is just a different figure in your life. Again, it's more of like a father-like figure in my experience. So that's why you need a mentor. And that's also, kind of the difference between coach and mentor. So how do you go about finding a mentor? Well, first we have to figure out what you need mentorship in. Okay. Is it business? Is it in, advertising? Is it in whatever? You need to figure out the realm or the endeavor that you need mentorship in. And what you're going to do is you are going to look for someone in that area, okay, that is like 10,000 steps ahead of you, okay? Not one step ahead of you or 2 steps ahead of you. Again, that's like a coach probably. A mentor is going to make you feel like an idiot when you talk to them. You're going to be like, whoa, like I didn't know any of this, right? So the best way to think about it, again, is that this is a giant, right? This should be someone that when you're around them, you're like, I can't even believe the fact that I'm talking to this person right now. Okay, so for me, my mentor has produced $6.5 billion with his marketing for clients, for himself, for the projects that he's been on. $6.5 billion. Whenever I talk to him, Any single time I talk to him, I'm like, oh my God, I'm an idiot, right? It's just like the things he says, he's just so much further ahead than me. He makes me feel like an amateur. Yet I have 5 years of experience and have produced 33 million for clients. Yet I still feel like an amateur when I'm around him. And that's a sign that you have a really good mentor, right? That's someone who is like way further ahead than you, 10,000 steps ahead of you, right? So what you're going to do is pick your specific domain or whatever. We're obviously setting the intention that this person is way further ahead than us. And what we're going to do to find that person is we want to look for people who are kind of like industry celebrities. You don't want celebrities. Like, guys, I'm sorry, Elon Musk is not going to mentor you. Jeff Bezos is not going to mentor you. Okay. Those are celebrities who are celebrities in every single industry. Okay. But like if we were to look at, for instance, advertising, okay, there are people at the top of the advertising pyramid, right, that have masterminds and stuff like that. Those are people that are going to be good mentors for you, right? And it's going to be easier to get in touch with them than frickin' Jeff Bezos. So industry celebrities is what I recommend. Now, how do you go about finding those people? Well, you can be plugged into the industry. You may already know who I'm thinking of, or you already may be thinking of someone. But if you don't know, you're like, I have no idea how to find this person, or I don't know who it is. What you do is you go to Amazon or you go to Barnes & Noble or whatever, and you look at authors of books in that specific realm, okay? And I want to be very, very clear. You want to look for authors that are also doing the thing. They're not just teaching it, they're doing the thing, okay? So perfect example, my mentor, he coaches people and he has a program that he sells, but he's also working with companies and is producing a shit ton of results every single year. It's why he's produced 6.5 billion. He has a lot of experience there. Okay. And then for a select few, the people that he likes the most, he mentors them. And that's a very different relationship. Again, like I said, it's almost like taking you underneath their wing. So we want to go and we want to do our research. We can look up, let's just say you run like a fitness business. We're going to go and we're going to look up, how to grow a fitness business or whatever the fuck, the thing is that you need help with, how to grow a fitness business. And you need to find someone who's actively running a fitness business. You should not try and find the coach. It's different. I'm not saying it's wrong. It could be one of the best investments you make. But what we're looking for is the mentor, someone who's way further ahead than you. If you're making like 20 grand a month, they're making like 2 mil a month. Right? They're way further ahead than you. So we want to find that person 10,000, 100,000 steps ahead of us. And again, they should feel like a giant. And we can find them just by looking online, searching for books. And you'll find probably a couple authors and you can go and do your research and you're going to be like, okay, this guy, he's actively doing the thing. He's really insightful. I watched a YouTube interview with him. I think this is the guy. What you then want to do is buy the book, or watch one of their podcasts or whatever it is. I think buying the book is the best route, okay? You can go and do these lazier routes, but the reason why I recommend buying the book and reading the book is because people will respond to your outreach attempt to them. They're just much more likely to respond if you read their book versus watched a podcast or whatever. Because everyone's like, I watched a podcast with you. It was so great, right? But when you said, I bought your book and read every page of it, and it was so insightful, I was so blown away. My biggest takeaway was blank. Then when you go for an ask, which I'll tell you about here in a second, they're like more likely to respond because they go, oh, fuck yeah. This guy read my book. He clearly has some insights. He didn't just lie about it. I'd love to help this person. So the ask that you go for in this instance is going to be one of two things. And it depends on who you are and what you have available. Okay. So if you have, like me, you have a YouTube channel, you have an Instagram presence, you have a Twitter presence, you have, an email list, or you have a podcast or whatever it is, right? What you want to do is you want to you want to ask to interview them. Okay. Because now the reason why they'll probably be okay with that is you're offering to give them distribution to your audience so more people can find out about them. And they love that, right? So it's value for value. Now you may be saying, Nick, I don't have a YouTube. I don't have that. Totally fine. That's what number 2 is for. What you're going to do in that case is you're going to offer to pay them for a consult. Okay. Now I know what you're saying. Wait, Nick, you just said that I'm looking for a mentor, not a coach. Yes, that's true. But you need to realize that the only reason why we're asking to pay them in this instance is so they know we're not a bullshitter and they know we're not just a looky-loo. We genuinely want their advice. We really want to know how they can help us. And so we're willing to lead with our wallet, okay? That's the only reason. Oftentimes, like 70% of the time, maybe 80% of the time, they'll just be like, yeah, no, you don't need to pay me, dude. Let's just get on a call, right? They're happy to do it because you read their book and you shared some stuff with them and they're happy to do it, right? So that's what I recommend. Now, you may be like, Nick, I don't have any money or whatever. Okay, dude, get creative. This isn't a fucking financial, management class, okay? Figure out, maybe you need to borrow money. Maybe you put it on a credit card. Maybe you just tell them, hey man, I don't have the money to do that right now for that consult. Let's say they say $5,000 for an hour consult. I don't have the money to do that. I went ahead, I put together, maybe you draft up something for them, whatever it is, videos or a website or whatever the fuck that your skill set is that you can help them with, and provide that to them. Again, just get creative, like figure it out. Your goal is to get on a call with them, okay? Now, when you get on this call with them, and again, you can either do it by leveraging your network and providing access to your network to them by giving them, distribution through videos or through an interview or whatever, or paying for it. What you're going to do is you're going to show up on time. Okay. You're going to ask really good questions and you're just going to shut up. Do not talk about you and your accomplishments and how great you are. Talk about them. And when I say ask good questions, okay, if you actually did the work and did research on them, you should be able to ask thoughtful questions. Okay, here's a not thoughtful question. So you got started in like 1980. What was that like? The fuck, right? So, John, I remember you said in your book that you got started in 1980, and one of the things that you mentioned was blank, blank, blank. And, I'm curious because, I'm starting my career now at this point, and what I've noticed is blank, blank, blank. Have you found that that's different from back when you started, or is that still the same thing? See how it's like you can tell someone really thought out that question versus someone's just asking a question to ask a question. So we want to be the person that thinks our questions through thoroughly, and that's a really, really good sign that you're going to be someone that they can mentor because you ask good questions. Okay. Now you're going to go through, you're going to ask your questions. And here's the thing, guys, if it was blocked out for 30 minutes or for an hour, you always end it on time. And even doing it early is very respectful. Okay. Do not go over the time and do not ask for more time. If they offer, I got like 10 more minutes. That's cool, dude. That's totally fine. But most of the time they're very busy. And so you should respect their schedule. Okay, and what you're going to say at the end of the call, and this is going to make sense here in a second, is you're going to say, dude, that was amazing. Quick question for you though. Where are you located? And they're going to say, I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man. Yeah, I got some friends out in Austin. I'm just curious on that part. Anyways, man, I just wanted to ask you real quick, is it okay if, just based on everything that you've said today, I want to go and implement it. Is it okay if I check back in and just share with you some of the wins that I got from what you're implementing? I mean, I just want to be able to share with you that I'm getting results from what you're talking about. They're going to be like, fuck yeah, of course I am. And that may sound like weird, like, why do you need to ask him that? Because what it does, guys, is it leaves the door open. It's now acceptable for you to reach back out versus, if you don't do that, there's a chance they may not respond. They now have an obligation to respond to you, okay? And you may feel like, oh, this feels like weird or whatever, but like, guys, beggars can't be choosy, right? Like you want someone who's going to change your fucking life for you and show you everything that you don't understand about business or your specific industry. Sometimes you gotta make an effort to kind of shimmy into the room and shimmy your way into it, right? I mean, that's how I went about doing it, and it worked very fucking well for me. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take this information that they gave you and you're going to go implement it rapidly. Go right away and implement it, okay? And what's going to happen is you're going to start to see results likely that are impressive because they're an expert, right? They know what they're talking about. And so as a result, you now have something that you can reach back out to them with. So you're going to reach back out to them and say, dude, I did this, this, and this, and I saw this, this, and this result, and then this happened, but I'm curious, and you can ask questions or whatever, right? But you want to create that back and forth with them, okay? And just like creating a conversation with them. And eventually what I would recommend after you've implemented what they're talking about and you're starting to see results because they're an expert and they're helping you, what we want to do is now create an in-person connection. Now, if you thought back to what I said earlier, remember I said, what city are you in? So after you've already established that you're not an asshole and that you actually, are serious about getting results and that you implement what's being told, what you're going to do is reach out to them and tell them, hey man, I'm actually going to be in whatever their city is. I'm going to be in your city on this date range. Would you be free to grab and then blank? Okay. So the blank, what you should do, I think that it's kind of a case-by-case basis. If you look at their social media, or if you look at them online, or if you found out they love cigars, go get cigars with them. If they clearly are a big foodie, Why don't you say, I found a new sushi spot in town that I would love to go check out or whatever, right, with you, something like that, right? You can make it more tailored. But if you don't have any inference to be able to like create that, thing we should go do, just say, would love to grab coffee or a drink or a bite, just let me know what your availability is like. And what's going to happen is you have to realize this person's now way more likely to accept that invite because you asked really good questions. Well, first you read their book, actually. And then from there, you asked really good questions. And then you went and implemented everything. And we're giving them feedback. And we're saying, here's what happened, everything. Like, they don't feel like it's a waste of time to meet up with you. And they're like, oh, this person's really cool. Like, they do what the fuck I tell them to do. So they'll likely say yes. Okay. Now, make sure that you stay in the city for a couple of nights. Don't just do one night because things can pop up, plans got canceled, and then look at you, you're an idiot. You flew out to this state or whatever, and nothing happened, right? So want to stay out for a couple nights. And then what you're going to do is when you meet up with them, you want to make an effort to get to know them. Okay, do not just talk about yourself again. Don't talk about you. If they ask you questions, that's fine. But always try and focus on asking more about them and finding out more from them. Don't make everything about business. Make it also that it's a conversation about life, about their family, about what the lessons are that they've learned, and right? We want to make it that it's a more holistic conversation, okay? And this is a personal tip. This is what I do. Come bearing gifts. My personal mentor, I bought him it was about $150. It was a coffee table Porsche book because he loved Porsche. He had a white 911 before I met him, and then he has a green 911 now, and they're both, beautiful, gorgeous cars, right? So he clearly liked Porsche. I got him a coffee book, and to this day, it's still on display in his living room, and he loves that gift, okay? And so now you got to think about what's the impression that's being made. Okay, this guy read my book. He asks fantastic questions. He implements everything that I tell him. I met him in person. He's really cool in person. He gave me this awesome gift. Game over. Locked in. That's your mentor now. They're never going to say to you, oh, you're my mentee now. I'm going to mentor you now. It's just going to be clear in that they're willing to help you, okay? And you can just kind of tell, right? Now, here's some other advice that I'm going to give you guys. Number one, first and foremost, what you want to do is make sure that you keep the communication consistent, okay? Do not meet up with them and then 10 months go by, hey, John, and reach back out. They may have already forgotten who you were, right? 10 months is a lot of time, okay? So once or twice a month, you just want to hit them up, circle back, give them, hey, I went and implemented this, or hey, saw this, thought of you based on our conversation, or dude, you should check this out, send them a video, whatever. Like just points of contact. You just want to keep in touch with them, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing, guys, is that you have to understand that respect is a very big thing. Never, ever be late to anything. I get it. Shit can happen. Be early so shit doesn't happen, okay? Never, ever be late to anything. If you are 5 minutes late to a dinner, it looks so bad. Do you understand how disrespectful that is? This person is taking time out of their busy day to help you, and you can't even fucking be on time? Come on, man. The next thing is you want to express gratitude. Saying thank you so much for your time when they get on a call with you. After the dinner, if you meet up with them, thank you for meeting up with me. I had a really good time. Thank you for all your insights. I really value it. And even just sending them, if you can get their address, if you figure that out, right? If you ask them, can I send you a gift? Or, if you meet up with them in person and they sent you their address or whatever, if you get to that point in the relationship where you have someone's address, writing handwritten note cards and saying thank you, thank you cards and sending them, those go a very long way. And last but not least, guys, network. If they introduce you to someone, okay, and let's say you're at a cigar bar and their friend's there and you connect with the friend on Facebook or whatever, and then that friend posts something about whatever politics, and then you respond, you're a fucking idiot, you don't fucking know, you're so stupid, stupid Republican ball, whatever, right? What's going to happen is that friend is going to come back to your mentor and tell them, hey, remember that guy you introduced me to? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I do. What about him? Look at what he said to me. And then he's going to show him it, and then boom, you're blacklisted. All that work out the door because you were acting like an idiot, okay? Remember, you are a representation of your mentor. Guys, this stuff works. Go and do it. That's all I got for you today. Alrighty, all the best.